A 14-day cruise might not be for you. We took a Carnival Journeys cruise on the Venezia. I Googled it. Venezia is what they said it's called. That's what I'm going to call it. Let's take a look at the good, the bad, and why a 14-day cruise might not be for you.
Valerie, Kyle Travel Channel.
Welcome to Valerie and Kyle Travel Channel. We're back from our 14-day Carnival Journeys cruise. This is our longest cruise we've ever done. The most we've done before this was about 7 days or so. We wanted to go to the Panama Canal and see the locks. That was the main reason that we wanted to go on this cruise. There was a few hiccups along the way in choosing the cruise that we wanted to go on. I did make a video about the Panama Canal advertising. I'll link that at the end so that you can decide how you feel about it. I'm going to talk about the things that we liked about the cruise. There were a lot of different things that were really, really great. Then I'm going to go into the things that were bad, gross, icky, ew, things that I hope I don't encounter again on another cruise. Here we go. Starting with the good. We really, really, really liked the Venezia. The ship was beautiful. They say it's an Italian-themed ship. They are 100% correct about that. From the architecture inside the ship, the artwork inside the ship, everything is Italian-themed. I totally got it. I love the ship. I think out of every Carnival ship we've been on, which is probably 6 or 7 different ones so far, this has been my favorite ship. We also thought the shows were really good. They had a series called Viva Variety where they had different singers, a juggler, a hypnotist, a bunch of different professionals come in, show us their craft, show us what they do. Those were fantastic. We've never had those on a Carnival cruise before, so it was really cool to see something completely different. They had Family Feud. We've never been to that on a cruise before either. That was so much fun. They had Deal or No Deal, which we love. They had Love and Marriage. We didn't go this time. We go every time, and I will explain why here in a little bit in the bad section as to why we didn't go to Love and Marriage. They also had 9 different comedians. I think 9 or 10 even. So every 3 days they rotated comedians. So there was never really too many repeating sets. We always love the Carnival comedians. That was a huge plus for me on this cruise was we got to see so many different comedians. JC Coakley was my favorite. If you get a chance, look her up. She was so funny. She was the best of the best on the cruise for me. The food. We thought the food on the ship was really, really great. We always eat in the main dining room. Everything on the menu was really good. I ordered gluten-free the whole time. I'll be coming out with a gluten-free main dining room video where I show you everything I ordered, everything that came out really great, and everything that was like, not so good. The buffet was okay. We don't typically eat at the buffet anyway. Another thing we really liked was that the ship was quiet. So there wasn't a whole lot of drunk partying. You know, we normally go on the 3 or 4 day cruises where we get a lot of that, which is no one's fault. That's what people go on a cruise for. Totally understandable. We didn't have any issues with noise anywhere. It was very quiet, very peaceful. It wasn't super busy in certain areas. I'll explain that too when I get to the bad. So, because things are good and bad at the same time. It's very weird. So, quiet, didn't have to deal with a lot of noise. The amount of ports. I loved the ports that we got to go to. We went to 7 total. So, we did Grand Turk, Curacao, Grand Cayman, Limon, Costa Rica, Colón, Panama, Cartagena, Colombia, and Aruba. We did 3 excursions. So, on 3 of the ports, we had something already planned. On the other 4, we did research beforehand. I loved all the different ports, the different options we had, the beaches we went to. It was so much fun. It is kind of exhausting going from port to port to port, like back to back, where you have to be up at a certain time. We did have sea days, like 2 sea days in a row, I think was the most we had, which was enough for me to be able to kind of relax a little bit and then get ready for another port day. I would not want to go on a cruise that has 4 or 5 or 6 sea days in a row. That would be too much. 2 in a row for me. And after that, I'm ready to get off the ship. So that was the last thing that I thought was really good about the cruise was the amount of ports. I loved being able to go to all the different places. That was fantastic. So moving on to the bad. I hate to call them bad, but some of them kind of were. Some were more annoying, some were more just inconvenient, some were just plain bad. Not everything is Carnival's fault, and I get that. So these are just coming from what we experienced. You could go on a 14-day Journeys cruise and have a completely opposite experience from us. Some of the bad was really centered around the guests on the ship, which the comedian said, oh, we have a mature crowd. And we did. There were a lot of people, who've been retired for quite a while, people who do sail a lot, the Diamond and Platinum members, to the point where they couldn't offer priority embarkation, disembarkation, priority tender on a port because there were so many Platinum and Diamonds that if everyone is a priority, no one is a priority. With our mature crowd, for the shows, there were lines. There were lines and lines and lines. Let's say the show starts at 7:30. Doors open at 7. When are we lining up on the cruise? 6:30. An hour before the show even starts. A half an hour before the doors even open. We waited so long in lines to get to shows that you can normally on a cruise just walk right in when the doors open. No, 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 no. You want to get a seat that's not behind a pillar or not all the way up in the balcony at the very back and you can't see anything. If you want a seat, you're getting in line 45 minutes to an hour before the show starts. We did not go to Love and Marriage because when we walked up to go get in line, I think it was when doors were even opening, so we thought, oh, we'll walk right in. No, the whole fourth floor, which is the circle, both sides completely packed in a line, people waiting. The fifth floor, people waiting in a line. So we went to the gym. We just gave up. I don't know what it was. People love lines. People loved waiting in lines for an hour. It was crazy. That was one of the things that was, is it ship specific? Is it because of the crowd we had? Is it because of the people that were on there? I don't really know. Okay, enough about lines. I'm sick of lines. The next negative thing, Carnival will send out casino offers. So Elite is the top one. With those, you get perks, which are great. There are drawings, there are different events held for only those people. On this cruise, we found out there were about 250 Elite casino members. Good for them. They love playing in the casino. Awesome. But bad for everyone else who wanted to play. People were at machines 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, until midnight, until 2 a.m. You see the same people. You walk into the casino and you want to go play a machine and the same people are on them. It was wild. I did not like the casino on this ship. It was small and there were two sides like there normally are, smoking, non-smoking. I don't know if it's just that people were in there for that many hours a day just smoking, but it might as well have been a smoking casino. Non-smoking half was basically smoking at that point. They did have a smaller casino around the corner in a totally different room that was fully non-smoking. Same problem. You walk in, machines are taken all day, completely full. That was like one of my least favorite things, which is usually one of my favorites, is to be in the casino and play a little bit. As casino people who were cruising on a casino offer, to not be able to get into the casino, it's kind of ridiculous. And during the Family Feud, one of the last people that went up, the cruise director said, oh, what are you going to do with the money if you win? And she said, oh, I would play in the casino if I could get onto a machine. And the whole crowd clapped too, because everyone is having that problem. You have a small group of people kind of making the casino miserable for the rest of the couple thousand people there. I don't know. The final negative I am going to talk about does come back to our mature crowd that we were cruising with. We did meet some very, very nice people. I spoke to some people waiting for shows and on the elevators that were so sweet, so nice, really, really kind. And then we have the other half that were just wild. I was like, what is happening right now? Here's the Facebook post. And if you can't see it, I am going to read it to you, because I joined the Facebook group for this specific cruise. So things were happening on the cruise. They were being posted on the Facebook group. Super, super good idea if you want to keep up with what's going on. I'm going to read this for you. Up on deck 11, in the smoking area, There is a guy that puts nasty, diseased feet on the tables every day, all day. Am I the only one who thinks this needs to stop? Cleaners have told him, but he obviously couldn't care less. What does everybody else think? Gross. Thank goodness I didn't run into this guy. Gross. Like I said, we had some really, really kind, wonderful people. Then we have some people that just were out of control. I don't know. The other things in the main dining room. Beautiful, beautiful main dining room. There's a gondola. The sky was painted, or the ceiling was painted to look like sky. It was so pretty. And they had beautiful Italian music playing. I saw one person do this at a table around other people, just watching TikToks or shorts or whatever on full blast. Watching their phone, volume all the way up. Everybody else around them is trying to eat. What are we doing? Another one. On the open air deck, they have the movie screen. They had movies playing, so fun, and it was kind of shielded too, so it wasn't as windy as it normally is, where it's completely open. So it was kind of down a little bit. They had the lounger chairs out so that you could lay, watch the movies. It was great. And if there weren't seats directly in front of the screens, there were a couple tables and stuff at the cafe or Rococo, the bar, where you could sit at a table and watch. So we sat at a table early so that we could get seats. So we're sitting, and there's a person at a table just a couple feet away from someone in a lounger watching the movie. There's a person at a table watching the news, full volume on their phone, just watching the news, while other people, everyone around them is watching the movie. I don't know what it was. These were just little things that I have seen, people walking around before. There was a woman when we got in the elevator, I just remembered this. We got in the elevator and she was playing music full blast. And she was like, this is the music elevator. We were like, okay, that's what we're doing, I guess. That didn't bother me as much because it's a very short ride. She was actually kind of being fun and people were moving, going to a thing. They were not actively participating in a thing, like eating dinner, watching the movie. That was the final thing for me that I just was like, come on, just if you're doing something that is actively disturbing what everyone else is doing, headphones, why not? Give it a try. It is what it is. It didn't ruin the trip by any means, but it was like a little bit of a fun surprise. Finally, I will go over what we spent on the cruise. So looking at travel logistics, we did use a $50K cert for our hotel the night before. We used our companion pass and our points for Southwest. We paid $132 for airport parking. We got a discount because it was a longer term parking. And then we had Uber credits. So we paid $132. Total without points would have been $1,418 and 28. So that's usually pretty good. That's where we save the most, is on hotels and flights and things. I split this one up a little different for the casino offer. So it was $580 with $200 onboard credit and drinks on us everywhere. So we had drinks everywhere on the ship. Normally we only get them in the casino. This is what prompted us to use this offer for the longer cruise, because that is a crazy amount of savings. The cruise itself with gratuities would have been $5,534. The drink package alone would have been $2,311 and some change. That is wild. So we paid $380 for the cruise, so that's the $580 minus the onboard credit, and gratuities were $448. So we're looking at a little over $800 for a cruise that would have cost over $7,000. Completely crazy. So we did pay for internet. That was $330. That gave me a heart attack because that is more than 6 months of internet at home for a 12-day cruise. For the onboard spending, I had a $50 spa gift card and I did get a manicure. So we ended up spending about $150 between, that's everything. There's really not a ton that we bought. I did get a lanyard. So just like the little things. So our total with our casino offer, we paid for this cruise, $1,308.95. So that is less than $50 per person per day for the meals, the shows. That was an insane offer. That's why we booked it. Total without points would have cost $8,346.07. Oh my goodness. I know we would never pay that. So the fact that we did get this offer, we were able to take advantage of it. Really, really wonderful. Moving on to the food. So food we never really get discounts on. We didn't get any discounts. This was just food that we ate when we got to Cocoa Beach, food that we ate when we were on some of the different ports. We didn't really spend a ton, honestly. $274.78 over 14 days. That was anything outside of what comes on the ship. So not too bad. The other most expensive piece was the entertainment, which I put the excursions in there for that because the excursions do add up. And I'm glad we did them, but they do add up very fast. So we did whitewater rafting in Costa Rica for $270 for 2 people. I did get the pictures and we got some little souvenirs after for $54. The Panama Canal, we did the Agua Clara locks and the fortress, so that was $220. Grand Cayman, we did the stingray and turtle excursion for $170. In Curacao, we did take a taxi to the beach and get some sunscreen, so $60 for that. Total $774. We didn't have any points or anything. So for a 2-week Panama Canal Carnival Journeys cruise, we spent $2,489.73. That is on everything from start to finish, the whole vacation. Our total without points, without any offers, without anything, would have been $10,813.13. This is by far our most expensive trip that we have taken in years, and it is going to be our most expensive trip because I don't think I would do it again. It was a very long trip. Everything was pretty good for the most part, but it was honestly just too long. By the end, we were so happy to be home, see our dogs, see our cats, see our family. We were just ready to get off the ship. As always, thank you for traveling with us. Please subscribe because I have videos coming out of the excursions. I have videos of the gluten-free menu. I have video of the ship and the shows. A lot coming up. There's some Royal Caribbean videos coming out in the next couple weeks. Those are going to be really good. The ship was awesome. We travel a lot. We try to do it for a little. We'll see you on the next trip.
Faster.